Welcome to HyperScale Video Workshop. I'm Brett Green here in Sydney on a very warm summer's afternoon. I received a box from the Ukraine on the doorstep this morning, and amongst other things it includes the new Clear Prop XA2D-1 Skyshark. Now, the Skyshark was designed to be the Navy's replacement for the Sky Raider. Although there were superficial similarities, the size of the aircraft were similar, the Skyshark was in fact very different. For a start, its turboprop engine could produce more than double the power of the older Sky Raider. It also had a contra-rotating propeller and folding wings and all-metal construction. Beyond that, there's not very much that I know about the Skyshark, so I thought that, as usual, I would open this kit for the first time in front of the cameras so I can share some of the joy with our viewers out there. So, we have very attractive artwork on the front of the box. It's a lid that is on top of a very sturdy white cardboard box that flips open from the top. And the first thing I noticed when I picked up this box is that it's heavy. It's really quite a heavy box. So let's have a look inside and find out why. Okay, so we have a number of Ziploc plastic bags. Let's have a look, open up this first one and see what we have inside. Okay, so the first sprue is the fuselage, and the surface detail is very, very nice indeed. I'm hoping that's going to be focused sufficiently that you'll be able to see the many, many lines of very fine recessed rivets. When I first had a look at it as it passed by, it actually looked like it was it had an oil can effect, but I think it's just the effect that you get from so many rows of rivets. So that's very impressive. The other interesting thing is that the points of connection for the sprues are very fine indeed. So you won't be having a great deal of risk of scarring these parts with attachment points so small. Alright, still in this same bag, we have a second sprue which has the counter-rotating propeller blade. So it's 3 blades per layer, 6 blades in total, and it looks like they're giving us the spinner back plates and spinner cap for both sets, so you'll be able to pose this with the 2 sets of blades offset from each other, which is a nice touch. Detail parts, by the look of it, some smaller detail parts. I can't tell exactly what some of those are, but we'll find out soon enough, I guess. More detail parts. In fact, is that? No, it's not. I thought it might have been a duplicate of the previous one, but no, it's more detail parts. And once again, you will see that the mouldings are very, very fine. So they're very nice indeed. Lovely stuff. I think this might be Clear Prop's very first venture into 48 scale too. We have here some racks and a drop tank and some fairings there as well. It looks like fairings for perhaps some other racks, and also maybe wing root panels as separate parts there. And the final sprue in this Ziploc bag is the other fuselage half. Oh, okay. So it looks like the fairing is for that opening there. So is that a barbette, a remote firing barbette? Once again, we'll find out a little later on. So let's have a look at this second Ziploc bag. Once again, there are multiple sprues inside. And here we have what appears to be mostly ducting for the turboprop engines. Oh, it's probably an exhaust, isn't it? That fairing. Here we have also some control surfaces and some smaller parts as well. I'll be doing a detailed text and photo review of this later in the week, so you'll be able to see in a bit more detail exactly what I'm looking at here. We have some instrument panel and cockpit details in here. Very nice. It looks like you've got the option of a Decal instrument panel by the look of the flat plain optional panel also on that sprue. We also have side consoles with raised switch and dial detail. Aha, now that was a question I was asking myself. I wondered whether the wings might be able to be folded on the model, and it looks like they are. This is obviously the inboard section of the upper wings. The surface textures are equally subtle and crisp on the wings as they are on the fuselage. We have some wheel well sealing detail moulded to the top of the inside of these parts as well, and obviously we have some separate parts for the rudder, and I assume the elevators there too. Okay, so that was that bag. So we have a third clear plastic Ziploc bag, and here we have the outboard sections and what appear to be the flaps. Oh, actually it's hard to say. I guess it could be the outboard sections. Might be big. No, I think it is the outboard sections. I'll just talk to myself here for a while. Don't you worry about me. Once again, beautiful recessed details. Looks like the flaps as well. We have here wheels, some undercarriage detail, sway braces, retraction struts, and what appear to be hinge parts as well. So they're all good. And here we have, I think, the lower parts of the outer wings. Moulded onto the inside of these parts are some perforations. So I'd imagine that for weapons you'll be drilling those out. And finally we have the mid-lower wing section with tail planes on there as well. So the grey plastic parts are quite dark, beautifully detailed, and the surface textures are brilliant. They really are very, very nice indeed. Next in the bag we have a further Ziploc bag which has a clear sprue in there, but also a separate bag of resin parts. So let's have a look at what we have in the resin parts bag. And we find a very nice little seat. Can we see the detail in there? Very nicely cast. Detail inside and out. So structural detail on the back there. Very nice. I'm assuming this is the frame for said seat as well. And this would appear to be the rear section and the headrest for the seat as well. So that seat's going to be nicely detailed. And a couple of other resin parts as well. I guess the instructions will eventually tell us what they are for. So I won't pack those up just quite yet. We have now the clear sprue, which includes two sets of canopies. One of them has the windscreen moulded in place and the other has a separate windscreen. So the canopy can obviously be posed either open or closed with these parts. Very nice. pop that down there. Yet another Ziploc bag, this time containing a couple of Decal Sheets. The Decal Sheets are printed in the Ukraine by Decograph. They are sort of flat to satin in texture, and the colours look good, so they're fine. And we also have a separate Decal sheet with stripes and stencils on there, so plenty of them too. Hope you've got plenty of patience and time for putting those on. And it looks like the final bag contains photo etched parts. Oh, okay, there we go. So including photo etched instrument panel faces, cockpit details. Looks like there's some perhaps some wheel well detail in there as well. And inside the bag we also have a set of acetate printed films that will give us the actual dials themselves. And the final thing in this bag, if I can open it, is a very handy set of white die cut. It's not going to focus, is it? Because it's white. There we go. Oh, that'll do. Take my word for it. It's a set of white die cast Canopy masks. So you won't have to be cutting out those funny sort of curved shapes yourself. You'll be able to use those masks. The last thing in the box is a set of instructions, full colour there, around A5 size by the look of it. It looks like there are 47 steps in the assembly, and they're nice, you know, illustrations. It doesn't look like there'll be much trouble following those. Also inside the booklet are 2 fold-out A4 pages with stencil markings on one for either a glossy blue or a bare metal finish. And then we have a second A4 folded sheet which offers us the option of 2 natural metal finish Skysharks or 2 in glossy blue. So there we are. How nice is that? Who would have thought that we were going to have a state-of-the-art 1/48 scale Skyshark as an injection moulded, you know, full run kit? This is a really nice kit, and if it goes together as well as it looks in the box, then we're in for a treat. Very, very nice indeed. Now, in the same box today, I also received a couple of other clear pop releases. I've now dropped the sprues of this kit all over my modelling room. I'll go and pick them up fairly soon. Clearprop also sent their 72nd scale A5 M4 Claude, and also, I guess because they were running out of space in a folded box, they've sent their 72nd scale Lavotskin LA5 as well. So I'll be doing detailed in-box reviews of both of those kits, as well as the text review of the Skyshark a little later this week or maybe early next week. Well, that's all I have for you today on HyperScale Video Workshop. I'm Brett Green. Bye for now.